Yo, Nation, we back.
Sanctioned by the new founding fathers and America, a nation reborn. May God be with you all.
Yo, shout out to everybody.
Everybody in the building.
Here in the building. You already know what time it is. Whether you are watching on OakLosVegas Raiders Network or Raider Nation Unlimited with my brother Wasted Talent, it's all appreciated, you guys. Make sure you wipe them feet, meaning hit them thumbs up. Pay your bar tabs, meaning hit them thumbs up. And also hit that subscribe button. It is free. It doesn't hurt nobody. Shout out to my brother Wasted. What's good, King?
Hey man, I'm feeling good, man. I'm feeling really good, man. Got some content coming out on playing the Raiders, man. Been kind of in my zone with the writing. We got a piece coming out maybe tonight. Maybe I'm gonna release it tonight, but it's gonna be up tomorrow. A piece on Hendon Hooker.
Love it. Yeah, I've been waiting on that, man. Everybody who don't know, Wasted told me this morning about it when I was on my way to the gym. I'm excited about that because we've been on that Hendon Hooker train forever. Yeah. And the draft is literally 1 month away now. So it's exciting. This can be really something that can actually happen at this point. Shout out to everybody here in the building, man. Shout out to Chuckles real quick, man. Common theme I heard in the McDaniels and Ziegler media sessions was tough and durable, which Waller and Renfro have not been. I'm going to be honest, you guys, and shout out to Chuckles. I didn't watch it.
Yeah, I'm tired of the lip wrestling, the talk, all of that bullshit.
Yeah,
that means nothing to me, bro.
Yeah, and I know, love the nation, love, we watch anything Raider related. I'm sick of these guys talking. You know what I mean? Like it's just go out and draft well, put up a shutout, win some games. Like, you know what I mean? Josh McDaniels has pretty much shown whatever he says, you can't really hold it. You know what I'm saying? Like, bro, he just shouted out Darren Waller a week before he traded him to the Giants. So at the end of the day, like, him saying with Renfro, we just need him to be on the field. We need him to be healthy, so on and so forth today. It was like, it sounded like he's staying, but you just never really know. You know what I mean? So I'm just like, I'm reserving my judgment. I don't really want to do the presser stuff and all that. Just look, put this team together, win some games, and let's get this shit rocking. You know what I mean? Like, I'm tired of all the talk and all that other stuff, man. Let's get this shit rolling. And it looks as though one thing I do like is it sounds as though the youth movement really is in full swing. It sounds as though these guys definitely do want to draft and have more homegrown talent. From the little snippets that I heard on Instagram that I kind of came across, I love that. But that's all talk at this point. I just want to put this team together and win some damn games. Shout out to Chuckles, man. Shout out to my dog, One Up. I do not know what channel this is on, my brother, but either way, it is definitely appreciated. Thank you so much for becoming a member of one of our channels. If you guys are not a member, hit that join button on both channels, man. It definitely really, really, really helps both channels moving forward, man. Salute to my dog, One Up. Shout out to my boy Jason Hunter real quick. Are you guys going to any games this season? Miami's going to be fire. That is the one game that we're talking about going to. Yeah. Definitely is Miami. We want to take the wives out there, let them, hit the beach and all that shit while we can, get the Raiders. It turn into a family affair type thing. You know what I mean? So Miami's definitely one on the billing. And I'm looking at a few other games as well, potentially some Midwest games, Chicago. Also looking at Detroit. If that's a Thanksgiving game, I might go out there. I got family in Detroit. I spent a lot of Thanksgivings in Detroit. And then some home games, definitely. The blackout parties are still going to be lit, so I'll be at some home games.
The blackout parties, I'm more so going to reach out to a lot of those. Miami is definitely one of them ones. I might go to the Jet game because I got a couple of buddies, me being in the tri-state area, they got, they big time Jet fans.
Yeah.
Might hit up that game out there with them.
It'd be fun too to watch Aaron Rodgers and Devontae going against each other. That'd be fun.
Yeah, I mean, hey man, but I'm gonna be honest with you, bro. They're gonna have to show me something this year, man.
Yeah.
Because like last year we had shit lined up, we were excited. This year, I'm not just gonna indiscriminately spend my money.
Yeah. Exactly.
Like,
I agree. And usually I'd be like, I'm going to every damn game. Yeah, man. I might be actually covering a lot of these games from the comfort of my own living room moving forward, man. Shout out to Larry DM. Can't put any value in what these dudes say. This is facts. Patriots people do not show their hand, and I respect it. This is facts. Shout out to Larry, and that's why I'm not listening to these guys talk anymore. Shout out to Lewis. Go ahead, Wesley.
Man, I mean, bro, look, the guy, his credibility, man. His credibility, and we wrote an article about that on Planet Raiders as well. Josh McDaniels has a credibility problem, and the thing for me is that I'm behind this organization. I want them to win. I'm not gonna come here and Pearl Harbor them and talk shit about them, right?
Yeah,
I got a chance to do well, but you could say nothing too. You know what I'm saying? Like Bill Belichick, a lot of the times he doesn't say anything.
Agreed.
So you can't paint yourself in the corner where you don't say nothing.
Agreed.
This guy is making proclamations and it makes you look wishy-washy and lame. You know what I mean? And that's the thing I kind of concern myself. I wonder if there's an issue with the players in the locker room with him coming out and, making these public proclamations about the lack of or whether they're going to be in a roster or whatever. And then 2 days later, they're gone. Like that, to me, that has to have some kind of collateral damage on
definitely
guys that are in the building.
These guys are human beings at the end of the day. And you can't preach putting the team over yourself when you're doing that type of shit. You know what I mean? So I definitely agree with you, man. Like I said, I'm reserving my judgment. I just want to win games. I don't really care what these guys have to say. I know a lot of people hung on to every word that Zeig said on the Bussin' with the Boys. Look, man, just show me, just put the right product on the field and just win. I don't even care. Shout out to Lewis. Go get Jeffrey Simmons. I'm going to tell you this, Lewis. We kind of know somebody, right? We kind of know somebody out there that kind of is, really, really close to Jeffrey Simmons. Y'all may know who he is too. I'm just going to say this. That report was cap. Tennessee is not trying to move on from Jeffrey Simmons. It's just another beat writer, someone just throwing some shit out there and just hoping that it sticks. He's definitely a huge part of their plan moving forward, man. Yeah. Shout out to XXX Raider. Wasted. You still want that smoke on chest? All love.
Yeah, man, we got to link up, man. I got to see what app you using, man. I got to get back in that chest.
There you go. Shout out to my boy John Corrigan. Again, Graphk Wasted. Got a favorite free agent signing. Who and why? And I love that you did that. Perfect segue into the topic at hand. Big ups to both of y'all. Rocking my gear, Doc. Shout out to my brother. He actually went and bought that We Deserve Better sweatshirt. I appreciate you, bro. John always supports everything that we do over here at OakLosVegas and Raider Nation Unlimited. So I appreciate you so much, brother. We're going to get to that right now. We just letting everybody in the room before we get to chopping this fable. Shout out to Big Time. It's a lot of Regina George, Mean Girl stuff going on. We have the talent / depth to make the playoffs, but the coaches have to let these players play. Shout out to my boy Big Time. All right, let's get to this, man. So Wasted, man. Our brother put up a great article.
Let's get a little screen share action.
Oh, I'm actually doing it right now. I already have it up and everything. So let's do this. PlanetRaiders.com. It looks really, really good on the computer as well. This is our website for you guys who don't know. And hey, we're going to be throwing out some stuff here soon where we can get your guys' Gmails and all that good stuff, Yahoo, so we can send you guys stuff every time we have a new article up. So if you guys are interested, you know what I mean, in getting some type of updates on any time we upload, let us know, man. DM us, say, hey, I would love to get, stay up to date with everything as it goes up. Let us know. I know a lot of people miss it because they're not on Twitter, they're not on Instagram. You know what I mean? A lot of people do spend a lot more time on YouTube. So if you guys want to get involved, let us know. We'll put a bunch of emails together and we'll make sure to get you guys acclimated with what we got going on.
We're going to have a giveaway as well, too. It's coming soon. We haven't quite figured out what it's going to be, but we want to make sure that we're giving back to all our supporters on Planet Raiders and our YouTube channels. and we were putting our heads together about that, and also to the writers, guys, I've got your submissions. I will be getting back to you.
There you go. Shout out to everybody that's been sending me stuff too. I want you guys to know, anyone that emailed me stuff, I've sent it off to the team so everybody can do their due diligence, and do their homework and make sure, it's right for what we're doing. So stay tuned. We are not forgot any of you guys. I promise you, we appreciate every single submission, and every article that you guys have sent our way. Definitely appreciate you. Shout out to Junior real quick. I love this because my Kings are about to clinch tonight, a win against Minnesota, and we are in officially here at the Go to One Center to see the Kings clinch their playoff spot. Light the beam. And Raiders, there we go. Shout out to my boy Junior. Shout out to my dog, man. Hold it down for the city over there, bro. Now look, our brother did some free agency grades, okay? And he didn't put a grade on every single player. He just chose a few of them so we can actually break this down on the live, okay? So for those who don't know, living under a rock, Jakobi Meyers, one of our big free agency acquisitions, former Patriot, former Patriot slot guy. He'll probably spend a lot of time in the slot and spend some time on the outside. The Raiders have made they have a productive offense, but the defense is a major concern. The unit, led by coordinator Patrick Graham, ranked 30th in efficiency last season, which is unacceptable when competing against top quarterbacks like Patrick Mahomes and Justin Herbert in their division. The Raiders have bolstered their wide receiver corps by signing Jakobi Meyers to a 3-year, $33 million deal with $21 million guaranteed. I'm not going to read the entire article. I want you guys to go to Planet Raiders and check it out. But our brother Wasted gave this a B+. What do you guys think about that? I'm gonna be real. This one, I really kind of low key agree with you.
Let me guess. We agree again, huh?
Yeah, I'm gonna go B- though. I'm gonna go B-. I'm not gonna go B+. I love the pickup. Don't get me wrong, but with us needing so much defense, and going out and making that one of our first, major acquisitions after Jimmy G. It was kind of mind numbing to me. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't get me wrong. Like, I definitely like the pickup. It kind of had us all questioning what we're doing with Hunter Renfrow at this point. You know what I'm saying? Like, whoa, the trade, talk started to pick up a lot more. We all know that Josh McDaniels loves to have those two slot guys. So this could be something where he's trying to, put that back together like he did in New England. I love the B+. I do. I just, me personally, that money could have been somewhere else. But now when we got rid of Waller, it kind of did make sense. You know what I'm saying? We kind of just took that money, put it over, to Jakobi Meyers. But I'm going to go B- because I felt like we could have used more help on the defensive side of the ball at that point.
So wait a minute. So we got rid of Darren Waller and it made more sense. So that means you think it's a B+ too. Come on, Graphk.
Hey, we can't agree. We can't agree on everything, bro.
Look. Yeah. Listen, we talk about that from time to time. But listen, man. Yeah. Listen, to get him for a mere $11 million per season, with the way the wide receiver market is popping off, bro, and the fact that I don't know if Hunter Renfrow is going to be on this roster this season. Mm-hmm. That was a fucking steal. It's the steal of free agency. It was a stone cold lead pipe fact that this man knows this system, and he was the crown jewel of free agency for this particular team. B+, like your life depended on it.
He's never had 1,000 yards receiving. He's never had 900 yards receiving. I think the most he's ever had is 800. I know he's played with the likes of Mac Jones, and Bailey Zappi and all that good stuff. But, we do have a guy with Jimmy G that, deals with some things, and we're going to talk about him next. Okay. But I'm sticking to the script. I have a B-. I just feel like there was more needs. But I am happy that we did not overpay on the defensive side of the ball, because I'm going to keep going back to that Javon Hargraves situation. And it makes sense for the Niners because they're right there. They're like literally
one player away.
Yes.
We're not one player away, bro. Everybody keeps saying, go out and go get all of these, some of these free agents. You guys hear the value based off of what the magazines are telling you the market is. But when you look at where these guys are positionally around the National Football League, these guys are not valued as high as, their paycheck will state that they are. Some of these guys like Poyer and all these guys, like where's he in the safety hierarchy in the National Football League? It's not like we're going out there and signing Ed Reed.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And we know Ed Reed's retired, but I'm just saying that's an analogy. I mean, some of these guys are good players, but they aren't superstars, and they want superstar money, and I'm not here for it.
Yep, exactly. And I agree with you 110%, my brother. All right, we get to Jimmy G. Garoppolo's new contract with an average annual value of $22.5 million establishes a new middle class for quarterbacks in the NFL. His contract currently ranks 17th in terms of average annual value, with a significant gap at either end of the spectrum. At one end, 9 quarterbacks earn an average of $40 million per year, while on the other hand, many young players earn less than $10 million per year on rookie deals. Also, I would love to read this real quick. Shout out to Rich Gannon, a Raider GOAT. There's plenty to like about the contract agreement between quarterback Jimmy Garoppolo and the Las Vegas Raiders. According to former NFL quarterback Rich Gannon, Garoppolo might not have the arm strength of his predecessor, Derek Carr, but he fits Coach Josh McDaniels' offense better and brings a winning pedigree. The addition of receiver Jacoby Myers adds another weapon for Garoppolo and another who is also familiar with the system. So our brother Wasted gave this a B-. I am going to give this.
I give it a B. No,
I gave it a C. Oh, B. I'm sorry. I gave it a C. Yes, I understand the whole scenario of him fitting the system. I definitely, and I have a reason for this. Hear me out. A+ would have been CJ Stroud. B+ would have been Tom Brady. B- would have been Aaron Rodgers. Jimmy G was like the third, fourth guy that I would even want in this, in this free agency pool as our quarterback. That is the reason why he is a solid C to me. There's 3 other guys that I would have rather had over Jimmy Garoppolo, and I understand he fits the system and blah, but I'm sorry. There's 3 guys that I would have preferred, because we all say this, right? He fits the system. Well, Tom Brady was the one that invented that system. That was his system. So I can't give it an A, because Tom Brady was the one that turned that system upside down. And Aaron Rodgers, the whole Devontae thing, and 3-time MVP. You know what I mean? Look, C.
Bullshit. Let me tell you something. I gave it a B because if you take 2 D's and stack them on top of each other, they turn into a B. Now, we know Jimmy G loves his double D's, baby.
Yeah.
And that is why he got a solid B, damn it. But to be quite honest with you, Jimmy Garoppolo is one of the most accurate guys in the National Football League. Jimmy Garoppolo,
agreed,
besides Tom Brady, has run this system second best to Tom Brady, right?
Yeah.
So what we talked about all last year is Derek Carr not knowing the system. You don't got to worry about that with Jimmy Garoppolo. You don't got to worry about that with Jacoby Myers. And if Jimmy Garoppolo can stay upright, he is a guy who has perennially made it to the playoffs. He knows how to win. He can actually help out another quarterback on his roster. And his value goes far beyond him starting. Because if we draft a quarterback, he can mentor the guy. He doesn't have the kind of ego where he hasn't been in that position before. And if he's not playing well, we can sit him down and it will cost us little money to separate ourselves from him. I think it was a masterful signing.
I love
double D's.
Sorry. Put it like this. I give it a B+ contractually, maybe even an A for that, the way the contract is set up. You know what I mean? But I'm just saying in terms of talent level, you know what I mean? I just think that there was some guys that we were all in the nation rooting for. I think Jimmy G was always the guy where it's like, that's what we're going to end up with, right? Like, you know what I mean? Like we were talking about this in October where it's like, we're probably going to end up with Jimmy G. And that's what happened. So I'm giving it a solid C at this point, but we shall see. If he can stay healthy and that O-line keeps him upright, this can definitely be a very, very great signing. So I got, what did I say? I got B-. Did I say Jacoby Myers?
Jacoby Myers, you gave him a B-, and you gave this a blasphemous C.
A blasphemous C.
Blasphemous.
Okay. There we
Absolutely blasphemous.
Marcus Epps. I'm going to read the first paragraph of Our Brother Wasted Talent's latest article. The acquisition of strong safety Marcus Epps from the Eagles went under the radar despite not being classified as one of the top defenders. Epps had a remarkable season as a box safety, starting in all 17 games and accumulating 92 tackles. The Raiders' decision to sign Epps to a 2-year deal that can reach $12 million deserves praise. Dave Ziegler is doing a terrific job structuring these contracts. What rating does this move warrant for the Raiders? So Our Brother Wasted has this as a B-. What do you guys think about this, you guys? I think that this can be one of those sneaky pickups. Like you said in your article, he started 17 games. He actually started all the games in the playoffs and in the Super Bowl. He absolutely got torched by Travis Kelce, but who doesn't get torched by Travis Kelce? I definitely like this pickup. This can be one of those moves where it's like, wow, like we really got him for a steal on a 2-year deal, not a 1-year deal, a 2-year deal. I'm going to go B+ on this one, not a B-. So I just feel like this is a sneaky pickup. And I'm only saying this also because no one really knew who the hell Marcus Epps was before this. You know what I mean? So there's not really a lot of expectations out there. And he had 1 year, one really good year of production. You know what I mean? Like this isn't something, he hasn't really started every game in his career up to this point. Last year, he did start for 17 games for a stout defense. That gives me a lot more breathing room to be like, okay, this might be a steal. I'm gonna go B+. I like it, and I like the contract. Once again, Zeke, 2 years, $6 million a piece, right? Was it $12 million? I love it. I love it.
Look, that's this right here is Jonathan Abram that actually is going to be in position. So,
I like that.
And that's the reason why I gave it a B-. He is a guy who is not going to get torched like him. He's a box safety who is not going to get torched in the same way that Jonathan Abram has. And I think that this defensive scheme needs that guy that's going to come and lay the wood. I give it a B-, damn it. Okay. Thank you.
Okay. Shout out to Josh too. He said Epps was a 6th-round pick, B+. There you go. Yeah, another late round guy that these guys are taking a flyer on, and I love it. And these guys, we got him fairly early in the free agency, pool, man. So these guys must have been watching him for a minute. You know what I mean? So I'm here for it. B+. I think we got one more guy on this article before we go off into a tailspin and talk about all the other guys we picked up at free agency. Robert Spillane. Spillane spent the last 3 years with the Pittsburgh Steelers, 2019 through 21, and has played in 52 games, starting in 16 with a total of 166 tackles, 111 solo, 8 passes defense, 3 sacks, 1 pick, returned for a touchdown, and 1 fumble recovery. Additionally, Spillane has contributed 25 stops on special teams. They told me coming here, I'd have the opportunity to be the green dot. Spillane said after signing with Las Vegas, what's important to me is I come in here and I earn respect. I loved everything about his presser, him and Marcus Epps. They said everything right. They sound like some guys that really going to bring their lunch pail to work every day. This move right here, I kind of agree with you. Wasted. You got it a C. This wasn't like an earth-shattering pickup for me. It really wasn't. I'm going to go C+, just because I'm just thankful that we went and got a linebacker. You know what I'm saying? In free agency, because that room is so thin at this point. We're relying heavily on Divine Diablo, Luke Masterson, and Darian Butler. You know what I mean? So I'm gonna go C+. I definitely love the addition, like I said, of an additional body to this linebacker room because we needed it desperately. I just don't know. I know he's not good in coverage. You know what I mean? He can play the run really well. We moved on from Denzel Perryman because of the durability issues. I'm gonna say this: I'll say C+. If he's more of like a rotational guy, if he ends up being the green dot and ends up leading this team in tackles, I'm gonna take it up a notch and say B+. How you feel about that?
I think you are smoking D&D.
Okay.
This guy has never really been a starter. He only got on the field because of an injury. He's a career special teamer. He is probably a guy who hopefully they go out and get some more linebacker help. But he's a guy that's probably gonna be a rotational piece. And they're if they're depending on this guy to replace Denzel Perryman, who even though Denzel Perryman gets hurt, Denzel Perryman has been a top end starter in this league, and they're gonna replace him with this guy. This is the equivalent of going out there and just the year they signed Nick Kwiatkowski, and Nick Kwiatkowski was a better player than this guy is. I agree. This is not a starter, bro. Like Nick, if they went out and got Nick Kwiatkowski, I wouldn't even really be as mad as with this one, to be quite honest with you. And I think this guy's a good player, but the sample size is too small. The sample size is too small for them to put as much responsibility as they're going to put on him this year if they're going to give him the green dot. I think it's terrible. And I think that for the money they signed him for, they could have threw a couple of more pennies in there and got guys that are more established in this league.
I agree. That's why I say, C+ because I'm just happy to have an additional linebacker, and B+ if they believe in this guy enough to give him the green dot and he ends up balling out. Shout out to SinCal. Props to Mark Davis. Yes, I want to talk about this as well. Heard Foster Moreau was in the building today for a visit, according to Twitter. Signed the guy, put him on the IR so he can get health insurance. Once a Raider, always a Raider. Shout out to SinCal on a 10-piece. I love it. So there was 2 guys in the building today. Sacramento State's own DeAndre Carter, who will be a receiver for a special teams guy. Had a career year with the Chargers last season. And we had, our former tight end Foster Moreau in the building, which I love. This is such a Mark Davis move to bring him in and probably give him a nice little paycheck for him to sit out and take care of his bills. I love that. I definitely love it. And it was an actual visit. It was a visit. So I love that. I'm hoping that this ends up being a situation where they take care of him. You know what I mean? And I think they will. This is once a Raider, always a Raider is something that lives through the Davis bloodline. So I definitely think that, they heard us. We were all hashtagging the other day, you guys foot the bill, you know what I mean? And a bunch of people, shout out to everybody that went in the comment section and flooded that shit. The people have spoken and Mark Davis has listened. And boom, Foster Moreau's in the building. And I love that.
But look, man, you really think that had anything to do with it?
What?
No. I really think that Mark Davis is wired that way. I think he's
I do. I do too. I was just trying to give us a little credit for it. You know what I mean?
Look, man. Look, Mark Davis, man. This is the reason why I never say get rid of Mark Davis. That's why I never say that, bro. Because I want to see him have some good fortune. I want to see a guy who cares about his players the way he does, cares about his organization, have a mark of success, man. Would love to see that, man.
No, I agree. And like I said, I'd love what Mark Davis does for his former players. If you guys ever get a chance to go to if you get a chance ever to be around the alumni parties and stuff like that, he definitely does love anyone that has donned the silver and black. So shout out to Mark Davis once again. And real quick too, we're not going to talk about Derek Carr, but I'm going to say this. He had an interview today and I seen a little thing of it, and he still shouted out Mark Davis, saying that Mark went up to him and thanked him for everything. Mark is just a genuine dude, and I'm very happy to have him as our owner. As much people kill him and flame him for it, shout out to Mark Davis. Shout out to Raider Invasion featuring Raider Buzz. What's up, guys? Just popping in. Shout out to my dog Buzz. Appreciate you for being here, brother, as always. All right, let's do this. So I think that was the last grade on this one. If you guys get a chance to, go to PlanetRaiders.com. Okay. Go check out our website. Shout out to Big Mike. Shout out to Cane Town. Shout out to Raider Scout. Shout out to Andy. Shout out to Hammer. Everybody that always supports what we do over there. Black Sail Sports as well. Our dog. Let's do some. I'm gonna do this. I'm just gonna throw some names out there. Okay. And we'll kind of go off of just go on a tangent. Of what we think. I'm gonna let you go first. We went out and got a guy in free agency, a death piece that played for us for a year under Gus Bradley at the cornerback spot. Brandon Faison is back. What a 1 year deal.
D.
Okay.
F and D.
Okay.
Why? If you're gonna go out there and go get some corner help, do you go get Brandon high stakes Faison? This is a guy that even the year when he was playing for Gus Bradley, played well for like 2 or 3 weeks, and then became the whipping boy for this defense.
He was forced to be the starter too, bro. That wasn't what his game was. You know what I mean? This guy was, I'll give it a D+.
Get the fuck out of here, bro.
Brandon Faison, you're a fucking scrub. But we needed some corner help. We needed some depth. We needed a little bit of help.
Big scrubbing time. I would have rather they brought Sidney Jones back. And
he just signed a 1-year deal with somebody else today. I forgot who it was. But I'll go D+. You know what I mean? That plus is because, once again, we needed some help, at least in the depth department at the corner spot. And we went and got a familiar face. I'm cool with it. I'm not expecting Brandon Faison to be a guy that's going to start games for us. You know what I mean? It is what it is. D+. All right, we talked about Marcus Epps. All right, a guy that will probably be on the show here soon. Spoke to him on Twitter a bunch of times. He already committed to coming on to the show. Hopefully we'll get him on here in the next few weeks. Veteran, played for the Patriots, played for the Texans, former Miami Hurricane, wide receiver, speedster, Philip Dorsett. And I'm going to be honest with this because I'm not just saying it, we're not going to, you know how we do over here. We're not going to be nice and shit just because we got somebody pulling up. We flame Stu all the time. You know what I'm saying? For fuck ups that he did. So I'm going to be real. We needed some speed. I didn't want to go with the guy on the wrong side of 30. And I don't think that Philip Dorsett has ever had over 500 yards receiving. I only think over 450, I believe. Maybe somewhat. I don't think he's ever eclipsed 500 yards receiving. He is, a threat with the speed. But I'm going to be honest with you. Damn, dog, this might be a solid D minus. D minus.
Listen, if he comes on the show, A+. You come on the show. Wait, come on now, baby. Woo.
Well, but this is the thing. We don't know if this is a camp body situation. We don't know if he's going to be the guy that's actually going to start for us, and be that speed factor to open up the offense. And he's never really been that for anybody else. Let's just be real. Like, I love the idea of bringing in some speed. I just wish, if anything, we would have just ran with just DJ Turner. He's still on our practice squad, right? Like, at least he's younger. And I'd rather go with the young guy to bring a speed element. I love the addition of speed. We needed speed. Last year, we missed out on speed a lot. Like, we needed that speed factor on the outside. Cool move because of the speed. But yeah, I'm going to go D- because of the age and because of the production that he's put up thus far in the NFL.
Bro, at this point, right? At this point, if you're driving somebody strictly for speed, get an established guy or get a rookie. Don't get a middle of the road guy that you're gonna wind up cutting in camp.
Yeah,
like, you know what I mean. Just go out there, look in the draft, and just get some kids you can throw a 9 route up to, man, and just chuck the ball up to him. I just, to me, it's much ado about nothing because Philip Dorsett, how much speed does he really have at this point in his career?
Yeah, well, I'll tell you this, and this isn't game speed, but I've been watching his videos as of late. My dog is doing everything to get my attention right now. She's grabbing every sock out of the room, and she's really irritating the shit out of me right now. But I love my baby though. But I've been watching his videos. It's different speed when you're watching them at the park practicing, right? Like, I don't know how that's going to translate to Sundays. We know he's fast, but at the end of the day, I just don't know. I don't even know if he's going to make the roster. So like I said, that's the reason I'm giving it a D-. This wasn't a splashy move. And that's what's so funny. Everybody was, oh, Graphk, you loved every move. I love that we went and got some speed, but I'm just being honest. You know what I'm saying? Like, just be transparent. It's not who I would have imagined us going out to get. You know what I mean? But he is a former Patriot. He does, we know how this goes. Yes, Jonathan Studio says, not a speed guy, Patriot guy, 2017 and 2019, 15 games, 20 receptions last year, 12.9 per catch. Shout out to John Beck. Just said still fast, just not very productive. And that's why I'm going with that specific grade. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm doing. Let me see. Let's go to another one, man. This is kind of just funny. I'm going to go with the A. I'm going to go with actually an A. And I know a lot of people are going to be mad about this. Jacob Bobenmoyer, long snapper.
What?
We went and got him from the Denver Broncos, a McMahon guy, right? McMahon came from over there, special teams dude. Our long snapper last season, I think pretty much was first or second in the league, Trent Sieg, in penalties. Look, it was time to move on. I'm sorry. Like, that's not going to cut it. When your long snapper is giving you, you're setting you back, that's an issue with me.
If you know your long snapper's name, then that means he's bad.
And I don't know Bobenmoyer like that. I don't even know if I'm saying his name right, but I'm just going to say I'm happy we moved on.
He's no John Kondo, baby. The great John Kondo. The GOAT. The GOAT.
But I'm going with an A. Do you even have any feedback on this pickup?
No. I'm going to be honest with you. I have no idea. You know, I've never heard of this guy before we signed him, so I'm not going to pontificate on some bullshit. But if they felt like they needed to move on from Trent Sieg, listen, man, you know, it is what it is till it ain't.
A for me. We went out and got, you know, everyone knows we traded Darren Waller for the 100th pick in the 3rd round to the New York Giants. And we went out and got some tight end help. These next 2 guys we're going to speak about, I'm going to talk about one first specifically, 28 years old, 2-time Pro Bowler. You know, looked really good early on in his career in Atlanta with Matty Ice over there. And then kind of went to like 2 run-heavy teams and 2 quarterbacks with Baker Mayfield, the Cleveland Browns, Tannehill, the Tennessee Titans. Austin Hooper, what do you grade this right here, big bro? What you got?
Austin, high stakes. The highest of stakes, Hooper.
Yes.
Look, I'm ecstatic about this move, bro. I really am, because I know that Darren Waller is a guy when you see him on the field and you see the level, the talent level that he has, you say to yourself, whoa, man, if he could stay healthy, if he held on to the ball, if he could block, he would be X, he would be Y, he would be Z.
Mm-hmm.
Austin Hooper is a guy who you know is going to play 16 games or close to it. You know he can block.
Yep.
And you also know that in the red zone, most likely he will not drop the damn football.
Yep.
He's been a Pro Bowl talent. He's had a bad stretch of luck. And I think for what we need and the way Josh McDaniels runs his offense, he values tight ends who can block and also catch the football. He's more of a balanced guy. Yep. I give this move a solid B-.
Solid B-?
A solid B-, man, because of the fact that, you know, what we're doing is we're trading in a high-end vehicle without a warranty on it. Because I've had that happen before, right?
Okay.
I remember years back, I had a Mercedes-Benz GL 550. Okay. And it was great when I first had it. And I kept it, and I should have got rid of it once the warranty got messed up. Not messed up, but once the warranty was out. And when I held on to the car too long, things would happen to it, and the air ride would go or the brakes, and I'm spending $2,200 on this shit, and it just became a money pit, and I got rid of the car. And what I did was I got another high-end car, but the thing about it is it had a warranty on it. Yeah. And what I did with my wife is that I bought a lower value car, but it was the car we needed. I got a Honda, and it was the car.
There you go.
For her, I got her a Honda, and that was what we needed because it was more valuable to us. And that's how I look at this. We're getting rid of a older high-end vehicle that is like a, you know what I mean? A higher end vehicle. I'm rambling here. I'm sorry. And we went out and got an energy efficient car that works, that you can get in and drive every day. And that's
A-. I love the pickup. I love it. I give it a minus because, you know, technically we did kind of move on from a top 5 tight end when healthy.
He hasn't been a top 5. He was a top 5 tight end maybe 1 year.
Maybe two. But I hear you. I'm just going to say A-. I love the addition of Austin Hooper. I think he's going to fit this system like a glove. And, you know, with him and this other guy that we went out and got as well, you know, OJ Howard, another former first rounder out of Alabama. We all thought he was going to be a superstar at the next level. Never really translated like that. What do you give that? I'm just going with look, Hooper. I'm just all over the place right now. But Hooper, I give it an A-. What are you doing with OJ Howard?
OJ Howard, man, is OJ Howard is a C+.
Damn, bro. Come on, man. Chill out, bro. Because I was literally gonna blurt it out because I knew you were gonna say this shit. C+.
Look, yo, man.
C+.
Yo, man, we fucking have you taken a plane up from Dallas, motherfucker, and looked at my sheet?
Hey,
you're cheating on your homework here.
C+. I agree. Hey, it's kind of like a what's the old term? It's a buy high. I mean,
Yeah,
low
man.
risk, high reward. That's it.
Yeah, that's right, man.
That's it. Low risk, high reward type situation where maybe he translate with us, or maybe he's just going to be the same player he was everywhere else at the NFL level. I don't know, but I still love that we got rid of Waller and went out and got 2 guys instantly. And this is a deep tight end class. To be real with you guys, I don't even know if Howard, maybe Howard's the 3rd or 4th tight. I still think that these guys are high on Jesper Horsted.
I do too. You know what the thing with OJ Howard is? I can't get out of my mind what he was in college and what I thought he was going to be. You know, I like that Zig is going out and signing former first-round picks and he's kicking the tires. That's the old school Raider way. Yeah. Kicking the tires on guys who had a high ceiling. Yeah. So I have no problem with it. The only thing with OJ Howard is, man, I mean, God darn, man, you played with freaking Tom Brady.
Yeah.
I mean, you already played with the GOAT.
But there was a lot of weapons also around him. You know what I'm saying? Like, let's just keep it a bean. Like, you know, they had a lot. Godwin, Evans, that, you know, he was always like the 5th, 6th option at best. You know what I mean? So, you know, maybe he gets a few more looks over here and changes, you know, the trajectory of his career. But I got it a solid C+. You know what I mean? And he can block. Just like Xavier Foster. Shout out to, he can block.
Yo, so, X, what up, man?
Yeah, shout out to my boy Xavier Foster, man. Shout out to Fuck You, the greatest name in YouTube history. What's up, y'all? I just want an opinion on the scenario. If we draft Bryce Young, he can sit back for a season behind Jimmy. He can learn his system and hit the weight room. Thoughts? It's just not going to happen. He'll be off the board. Anybody, you know what I mean? By the time we draft, unless we move up to the top 2, fuck you, I don't see it happening.
Yeah, look, you don't take a quarterback in the top 10 to sit him on a bench.
No,
you just don't.
No,
you know what I mean. And you don't spend the most money you spend in free agency on your number 1 prize free agent.
Yeah,
to not have him play.
That's why Hendon Hooker. I can't wait for that article that you're going to drop, because that's the perfect situation for us, because he needs to sit a year anyway, coming off that injury. So this is a perfect situation.
Yeah, see, and I don't want to spoil my thunder with my article, but one thing about Hendon Hooker is Hendon Hooker is a guy with superstar level talent, but the price tag is not superstar level. And he's a guy who allows the Raiders to have Jimmy Garoppolo play, show him the system, and then you can kind of do what the Kansas City Chiefs did with Alex Smith. You can build the team around Hendon Hooker. He will have all of the weapons at his disposal, the offensive line at his disposal, have full command of the offense, and he's a superstar level talent making, second round level money. And that's the genius in bringing in a Hendon Hooker.
There you go. I love it. Real quick. Next, defensive tackle. We needed some help. We all know that we let Andrew Billings walk in free agency. He ended up signing with the Chicago Bears. Got a nice little, I think, was it 2-year deal? 1 year, 2-year deal?
I think he had a 1-year deal.
Probably 1 year. But, we kind of sat around. We went and got some DBs. We got some tight ends. We got some receivers. We got a quarterback. And we were still sitting around like, damn, are we going to do anything at the defensive tackle position? I kind of held on to this for about a week. You know what I mean? We're just kind of wait and see if the contract was going to end up going through. And it did. We went out and got a 33-year-old veteran defensive tackle, true nose tackle that can really defend the run really well. He's not going to give you that much pass rush. But John Jenkins, how do you feel about bringing him in to help this defensive line?
Man, I mean, he's a guy that I think he's the kind of guy that can push whoever we bring in here, these young guys, Neil Thick, Frame Farrell, all these guys, he can push them in camp. I don't think John Jenkins makes his roster. This is a guy who's been traded like 9 times.
Yeah, he's been around. He's been around. He's definitely a journeyman. Times. Definitely a journeyman.
He has not played a whole lot. If John Jenkins is starting for you, there's a problem. And that
I definitely agree. I don't think he's going to be a starter by any stretch of imagination.
I'm talking about even if he makes it, because how many of these guys can you carry? And then there are guys in this draft, they're probably going to address the defensive line again, the interior defensive line again, because they let guys walk. Yeah. So look, they went and they brought back Jerry Tillery. So they believe in Jerry Tillery.
Oh, you know what? I forgot we did bring Jerry Tillery back. And we're going to talk about that as well.
Bill Farrell's back. Matthew Butler is a defensive tackle. So those are 3 guys right there. And if they go in the draft and get somebody, and say, for instance, the heavens open up and the skies will crack and crumble, and we get Jalen Carter.
Yeah.
That means if John Jenkins is on the roster, that means that Neil Farrell is ass.
Yeah.
And that's not a good thing for David Ziegler.
Well,
they're the ones who drafted him, so he's going to have more of their loyalty.
Yeah, and we're going to see some. I think we're going to see some good things for those guys. Neil Farrell lost some weight. He's not as thick-framed as Wasted would like to coin the phrase. He's not as thick-framed as he once was. And it's funny because your nose tackle loses weight, right? And then your pass rushing DT that you drafted, Matthew Butler, gains weight. So I'm definitely want to see what these guys look like in year 2. Listen, fuck it. We're already here. Look, Jenkins, I'm going to be honest with you. This is a C to me. We needed some depth at the defensive tackle position when Andrew Billings left. Like, you're right. I don't know if he makes the roster. If he does, great. He'll be a depth piece for us. But I'm just going to say it's a C, a solid C at best, because, I feel like we needed someone to come in and alleviate that blow of losing Andrew Billings. And, this is a guy that's been around the league.
Well, look, I'm going to give it a D.
Okay.
Because I'm going to tell you why I give it a D, man, because he was signed for depth.
Yes. Okay. There you have it. Well, I'm going to give it a C.
Bring some knowledge on you.
I'm going to give it a C because it's the homeboy's cousin. So there you have it. Shout out to fuck you. I just want to let y'all know who that Bryce isn't my ideal draft target. It was just a dot. Shout out to you. Also, shout out to my dog. I didn't want to miss your Superman. Kenny Max says OJ Howard is a wait and see player at this point. If he sucks, pause. He won't make the final roster. This is facts. Factory. Shout out to my dog. All right, let's get to the next guy. Now this is going to be some fun right here. Everybody was screaming for Poyer, right? Let's go get Poyer. Jordan Poyer, safety, Buffalo. And, Aubergine trolled us and went out and got a safety from Buffalo. Jaquan Johnson, special teams guy, played, started 4 games last season for Buffalo because of injuries. I'm going to be real, y'all. This to me is an F.
An F?
Yeah, it's an F.
Why?
I know you need special teams, players and all that good shit. I just look, this one didn't move the needle for me at all. I'm just
look. Jaquan Johnson is
27, 5 years experience, 5'10", 191, 14 total tackles last season, 1 pick, no forced fumbles, no sacks. This is not something that I'm like, oh.
Look, the thing about it is with him is that it's not a D or an F, man. I think it's an incomplete because you got to see how the guy plays on free agency. You know that the guy is not going to probably ever touch the field with the starting lineup.
Yeah.
So I got to see how he plays on special team. There's not a lot of metrics on how well a guy plays on special teams.
No, definitely agree.
And I'm not mad at the Raiders for doing the 52 fake out. When I saw they signed a safety or a DB from Buffalo, I was like, oh shit. And then we got the Wish version of Jordan Poyer.
Yeah.
We got the Ross version.
Hey, let's do this. Let's keep the trolling going. So hold on, what'd you give it? You get incomplete? I give it F, right?
Yeah.
So let's keep it trolling. So let's just keep it trolling. We're not gonna say let's keep it going. Let's keep it trolling. Another 5-year vet, former Michigan guy, 5'11", 196 pounds. 17 solo tackles, no sacks, no forced fumbles. The wrong David Long, damn it.
Oh,
the wrong David Long. Trolling again because we all were talking about we wanted to bring in David Long, the former linebacker from the Tennessee Titans. We go out and get this guy. I get that he's still young. I get that he probably does fit what Patrick Graham does. So I'm actually excited to see what he can do. I've spoken to a few former Michigan or guys that went to Michigan, and I actually spoke to some Michigan fans. They're fans of him. They think that he can be a good addition for us. I'm going to give this a solid C. It's nothing to be all happy about, but it's nothing to just be like, you know what I mean? So I'm going to give it a C. It's not an earth-shattering move, but it's another potential depth piece at the corner spot, and you can get some special teams out of them. I'm cool.
Yeah, I mean, bro, David Long is one of those guys, man, that I think is going to flash a little bit better than what people would think. You know what I mean? He's a good, solid tackler in the open field, and he's athletic, and apparently, Patrick Graham must value his football IQ and the ability and speed that he has. So you know what, man, I will go and give it a D minus.
Okay. All right, D minus. I got it a solid C. Yeah, shout out to Clint. He says slot corner. Yeah, he can definitely be a backup guy to back up Nate Hobbs if need be in the slot. Another guy, 21 solo tackles last season, 1 pick. Been in the league for 5 years. It's funny. We keep going out and getting these 5-year vets. 5'9", 176. He's only 26 years old out of K-State. This is my favorite pickup thus far, at least on the defensive side of the ball.
Mine too.
Duke Shelley. I give this an A+. I love it. I think this is a really, really sneaky pickup. Minnesota Vikings fans are in shambles. They wanted to bring him back. He was definitely a bright spot for that terrible defense last year. I'm giving it A+. I love it. And, the contract ain't shit. 1-year deal, see what you got, and bring him back if he balls out.
Yeah, the talent level is immense. I think he had one of the better coverage grades in football, man.
Yes, he did.
PFF had him at 81.5.
Only behind Patrick Surtain and Sauce Gardner.
Yeah, so he's an elite company for very, very little money. I love it. I'm not gonna give it an A. I mean, to me, if I'm giving that an A, then what happens if we were to sign like Stephon Gilmore or somebody like that? So I can't give it an A. What I'll do is I'll give it a B minus.
Okay, I'm going A+ just because I love it. I love it. I think this guy's gonna be a starter for us. I do. I think that Duke Shelley will probably be a corner 2 for us. I think he was kind of like the backup plan to Rock Ya-Sin. When Rock Ya-Sin went over to Baltimore, you know what I mean, and had that meeting with him, which there's still talk of us potentially bringing him back. So I don't know, but I think he could potentially be a starter for us on the outside. So if you can get a starter with that contract, look, I give that an A+. Simple and plain. But hey, it is what it is. Shout out to JT. 3 moves I really disliked this offseason: letting Stiddy go to the Broncos, losing Billings, and walking in on my wife pooping. Thoughts? Yeah, man. It's always terrible when you walk in on your wife taking a shit. Stiddy, 2 years, $10 million deal. I wouldn't want to pay him $5 million a season. I know Peyton actually spoke highly of him, saying that was one of his favorite pickups this offseason, that he can be a starter at the next, in the NFL. I definitely wanted to keep Stidham, but he's a Bronco now. And if you would have went to any other team, I'd have been like, I would have loved him. He went to the Broncos. Welcome.
Yeah, see, this is the thing with Jarrett Stidham, right? These are the guys who raised him in the NFL. They drafted him, and they allowed him to walk out of the building. And I think the nation has look. I think, man, we've been down so long, man. A lot of people have like, we have this nostalgia bug in Raider Nation.
Yep.
The guy had he had 1 good game and lost it. So like, I'm not paying him. I'm not paying him like that for that. He had 1 good game and lost it. Has he ever won a game in his career as a starter?
No.
So what are we talking about? Like, that's the thing that bothers me with that shit, bro.
Well, look, let's just keep it a buck. I mean, we were all cool with bringing him back if he was going to be the bridge guy. If Brady or Aaron or, these guys fell through, we were just like planning ahead, right? We thought in our heads, Stiddy going to be back for a year, have the young guys sit behind him, blah, blah. I'm going to be real. And at that point, I was like, you know what? If this is the plan, then I guess I got to be cool with it. But I'm going to be real. Now we got Jimmy G. I know we'll go get another quarterback, preferably Hendon Hooker or one of those other guys in the middle rounds, the Aiden O'Connells, the Stetson Bennett's. And I'm really starting to warm up to that idea as well. I would
Stetson Bennett like your life depends.
Yeah, I definitely warming up to that idea. A winner, proven track record. But I'm cool moving off him. And to be real with you, I wasn't too mad about losing out on Andrew Billings. I know he was a bright spot on the interior of that D-line, but I mean, at the end of the day, to be honest with you, on a good team, JT, Andrew Billings is depth.
Yeah.
So, if you have a bad D-line, if Andrew Billings is starting for you, this guy was on a practice squad year in and year out. You know what I mean? Like, he can barely even make a roster. I mean, barely make a active roster. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah. But I hear you, though. Shout out to my dog, JT. Let's get through. We got about 3 more guys. This is another one that I actually really liked. We needed some more D-line help, a guy that can move inside and out. You know what I mean? Really more of an edge rusher. 7 years in the league. 6'4", 260, 27 years old. Another K-State guy, Kansas State guy. 5 solo tackles, 2 sacks, 1 forced fumble. Jordan Willis and me and Wasted have talked about this on the phone several times about it's always great to go pick talent off of great defensive lines and taking a flyer on them, right? Because even Niner fans are like, you guys got a good one. You got a good one. And it's always great to like, oh man, shit, he came from that D line. And, hey, I love it. I'm going to give it a solid B-. How do you have this graded?
I have it as a B because, when you have talented players that come from a talented positional group on a really good football team, there's 2 things that you get. You get a guy who understands the effort it takes to play at a high level.
Yeah.
You get a guy that's learned behind somebody in this league who is a solid high-end starter. And you get a guy for the cheap that you can develop into just even if you get like any kind of starting ability out of that guy, that's a win-win. You need depth all up and down the field. And I think like the way the Patriots used to play defense back in the day, they didn't have a whole shitload of superstars on their defense, but they had competent pieces that they moved in and out. And it was like death by 1,000 cuts.
Yeah.
I love that signing, man. I give it a B.
This is pretty much Khalif Farrell's replacement, right? A guy that can, you put him inside, you put him outside. I'm cool with it. I definitely like it. I'm just going B- because it's not like the splashiest of moves, but it's actually a solid depth guy that I believe is going to probably work some magic for us in here and there. I'm not going to say he's going to come out and get 10 sacks this season, but he'll probably be a guy that get a lot more burn with us than he did with the Niners. So I'm looking at maybe getting 4 or 5 sacks this season.
Hey, give me 6 sacks. If
there
you
you
give
go.
me 6 sacks, bro, I'm good on that.
Pause. Shout out to Thick Frame Mayo, longtime fan, ran across your content years back. Love the work you do. Now let's trade back and bring in Cansey. Hey, let's talk about it, brother. Then Hooker and build that D. Pause.
Hey, yo, we got a film breakdown on Willis on Planet Raiders as well. Our brother Big Mike.
Yep.
Went full John Madden on him.
Yes.
Go and check it out.
PlanetRaiders.com. Great breakdown of Jordan Willis from our brother Big Mike. All right. Another guy that we went out and got that I think a lot of people were confused by at the moment because, we were all assuming, we're going defense next for sure. Right. And then we went out and got another receiver last year that played for the Commanders. 8 receptions, only had 89 yards, an average of 11.13 per catch. 6 years in the league, 27 years old, former Alabama guy, 6'5", 214. Cam Sims, a guy that I have questions about. I don't know if this is going to be a guy that they think that they're going to replace, Mac Hollins with, you know what I'm saying? Or this is going to be more of a special teams kind of guy, or if they're going to use him and convert him to tight end. He plays some tight end in Alabama. I'm still confused as to what he is going to be. I don't know if he's going to see a lot of time on the outside. He might be a predominantly special teams guy, or he might be that tight end. I'm going to give this maybe a C- at best.
Yeah, I think Cam Sims, based off of his size, his measurables, and what he did in college, I really, 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 really think that they're going to try him at a tight end.
Okay.
And I think because he can be used in 3 different ways, I think I got to give this signing a C.
Yeah. And I agree with you, Jason. I definitely believe that Sims has potential. It's just not been unlocked yet. You know what I'm saying? So that's the reason why I can't be fake on here and say, oh, it's an A because he just has all this. Nah, he's 27 years old. He's been in the league for a little while, and it still has not been unlocked. Sometimes it takes the proper coaching to do that. And hopefully our guys are the guys to do that. So solid C-. I think that's really all the guys that we've gotten thus far. Is there any other guys that we brought in? I mean, we can talk about some guys that we brought back. How do you think about Muti, bringing him back? I think he's probably
a starter.
Starter at right guard, right?
Yeah, he's our starter.
He's a starter. And for that contract, a 1-year deal, I'm going to be real. I give that a solid B+. I give Muti a B+. I love the addition to him. He didn't play for us last year. We pretty much got him off the Denver practice squad and kind of stashed him away. I love it. I think that's a solid pickup for us bringing him back. And if you get him for that contract as a starter at the right guard, oh my God, bro. Love it. B+.
Yeah, man. I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm not going to give him a B+ because I ain't seen him play yet.
Okay.
So to me, I gotta always err on the side of a C.
Go back and look at some of his film. Booty, bro, he actually he has some great film out there. You know what? We should ask Andy to do some film breakdown on him. You know what? I'm gonna call Andy after this live. I'm gonna see if he can actually do a film breakdown on Mooty's college and NFL career. What do you guys think about this? We brought back our starting right guard. 1 year, I believe, $3 million deal. I think only 2.4 is guaranteed. Jermaine Illuminor. I'm gonna be real, at this price and the way he played last year, that's got to be an A, bro. I'm sorry, because at that price, he doesn't have to start. If we get someone that's better than him, or say Mumford takes the next step, or we find a great right tackle, say we get Dwan Jones in the second round or something, he falls in our laps. That's still a steal. That's an A.
Yeah, that's an A, man. Like the level of play you get out of him and the contract, you have to marry those together, and that's how you got to grade that move.
A+ if he cleans up those flags. And he also said he's going to come on our show soon as well. So shout out to Jermaine Illuminor. A+, man. A+. What's some other guys that we brought back this year? Our own. We can even grade.
I don't want Jerry Tillery D-.
Okay.
F
so you got a D-.
F him. D-.
I'm gonna go C. I'll go C. He still has pass rushing ability. You know what I mean? He's not going to really stop the run at all. He struggled mightily against the run, but if he can get to the quarterback a few times for us this year, I'm cool. I'll give him a C.
F him.
I know you're still crying about the Baker Mayfield flag.
F him.
But hey, let's not act like that defensive line did not look different those first 2 games he was there with us.
F him. And yo, Amir Abdullah is a very good player.
Yeah.
Amir Abdullah.
You know what? I give that a solid C as well. He's going to be our third down specialist. You know, get it done in the passing game. You know what I mean? A willing blocker. You know what I mean? When need be. I'm cool with that. I like it. I mean, I know he's kind of on the wrong side of 30. Isn't he like 30 or 29, 30? Somewhere around there?
Yeah. But
bro, it is what it is. I'm cool with that.
I'm looking in the chat, guys, really quickly. Ghost Regime said he's predicting Willis will take Chandler Jones's spot. That is a big prediction, brother. I am going to write that down in a prediction hall of fame, Ghost Regime.
I love that.
If it happens, you definitely will get shouted out, my brother.
I love that. That is a bold prediction, and if that happens, that's great. That is great. Okay, let's do this. Everybody in the chat, real quick. Let's grade the Waller trade. It's off season. It's free agency. We traded him, picked up a 3rd-round pick. You know what I mean? It's still a move. Look, I'm gonna give it a solid B.
Hey man, look, I give it a B+.
Okay,
I give it a B+ because you moved a big contract for a guy who is more of a name at this point than to play. I mean, he's gonna have to resurrect his career in New York. Make no mistake about it, right? And you got a 3rd-round pick. Now people say, "Oh, it's just a 3rd." It's like, well, 3rd-round pick is high draft compensation for a guy with an albatross of a contract.
Yeah.
And he's a guy who didn't seem like he was the most focused on football. He didn't really seem like he was flowing with what was going on here. And it's time to just move on at this point. He's a Gruden guy. Let him go to New York and do what he got to do. But I was always worried about Darren Waller careening off the cliff because of some of the situation, you know, like with his injuries and stuff like that. I was always
hard to rehab when you can't rehab.
Yeah, it's that. But, you know, I didn't even want to even put that into the equation, right? It's more so the fact that it doesn't seem like he's the most focused guy in the world. He just doesn't. He doesn't seem like he puts football first. There's certain things. And, you know, Mike Lombardi went out there to try to defend his son, Mick, and, you know, talking about, you know, Darren Waller, you know, getting fined and not caring and things like that. And I don't know. Mike Lombardi says a lot of things, and I don't necessarily know how true it is. But what I will tell you is that if Darren Waller wasn't sold out for football, and you can't be in his organization.
Yeah. You know what? I'll move it up to a B+ because we got a top 100 pick for him. And I don't care what anyone says. I think that was all cap about last year, about Green Bay offering a 2nd-round pick. We never really got any solid, you know, like, was there anywhere where was solid truth to that? You know what I mean? Because, you know, maybe Josh McDaniels was still hoping that this guy would be the guy for us. And he said, you know what? Nah, why give it a second? I'm gonna go B+ because we got a top 100 pick. I keep forgetting about it. I'm saying third, I'm thinking third round, but we actually got the 100th pick for him. You know what I mean? So that's great draft capital when you need defensive help in a very, very, very defensive heavy draft. You can get a great player right there. I mean, ways to think about this, bro. You could potentially get a Jack Campbell there. You know what I'm saying? Like he was the highest rated linebacker in the nation last year. You could potentially get Emmanuel Forbes if he drops to the third round. Think about, like, there's talent that's going to be there.
That pick, because you never had it, could be the pick that you use to move up to get the
Hendon Hooker.
That might be the pick you might need to move up to get Jalen Carter if he's available. He's in play. There are a lot of things that are in play when you have that level of draft conversation. So I love it, man.
Or maybe you even go get, if he falls, because he wasn't really the big tight end that was receiving tight end at Georgia. If Darnell Washington is there at 100, wouldn't that be funny if we ended up getting rid of Waller and drafting Darnell Washington out of Georgia at 100?
That'd be great.
That would be phenomenal. A great blocking tight end with all the potential in the world to you know what I mean, can convert to that more, a receiver type tight end. Like, he has all the potential in the world. That would be phenomenal. That'd be phenomenal. But there's so many things that we can do with that pick at 100, man. Like you said, you can use that as draft capital to trade up, get Jalen Carter, trade up to get your quarterback. There's just so much shit that we can do, man.
See, the only thing that I'm going to caution Raider Nation, and I'm going to caution the Raiders. This locker room can careen off the cliff if they don't make sure that Josh Jacobs is happy. They're going to have to. Look, man, Josh Jacobs, they put that, the people have spoken. They put the C on Josh Jacobs' chest, right? Now, last year I was saying he's just a running back. You can't pay him. Me thinking like the armchair GM.
Yeah.
This guy is essential for the culture of the locker room because he bought in. And if a guy buys in and you don't do the right thing by him, no one else will ever buy in again. They got to do the right thing by Josh Jacobs.
So you know what? Damn, man. Let's grade that. That's still a move. Free agency move. I mean, we placed a tag on him. And Josh McDaniels, I seen a snippet earlier today where he spoke about Josh, but he keeps saying the same thing. He was a leading rusher last year. We're trying to get it done. We want it done. We want it done. We want it done. Do you think that he's a huge part of this thing moving forward?
Man, you know what? These guys are, man, if they were playing poker, man, they'd be fucking aces, man, because they don't really call their pitches. There were certain things like with the Gruden guys, you kind of knew they were going to do certain things. With these guys, they're just very unpredictable. And I don't know, because I haven't heard anything be brought up again about Josh Jacobs. Like, that's, to me, before you start doing all of this stuff, job one, when you move on from some of this salary, you got to make sure that Josh is okay.
Yeah.
You have to. And you got to make sure it's the kind of contract you can get out of. You don't sign an albatross of a contract like Ezekiel Elliott, but you got to make sure that he's okay with coming into camp and he feels compensated.
Yeah, I agree. I agree, man. Shout out to JT with the 50p special, man. I appreciate you, my brother, as always. Two high football IQ grinders on my screen. I may joke, y'all, but as a former NCAA wideout, I understand your commitment to knowledge. As for Waller, people don't understand how often hamstring injuries reoccur. His numbers were sinking, B+ grade. And JT, man, you are absolutely right with everything that you just said. And I think our coaching staff caught on to that. And it was a mix of that and also what Waste just said. The guy really didn't look bought in to just football. You know what I mean? He looked like he would just always end up more things outside, which is great. You know what I mean? I know he look, man, that man got his life saved. You know what I'm saying? Mental, health advocate, music, a lot of stuff that helped him, shape who he is today. I understand completely. You know what I mean? It's just, if you're not going to buy into the football team, no, we got to move on. But I agree. And thank you so much, bro. I had no clue that you played, at the collegiate level, man. Shout out to you, JT. That means a lot, man, for the love that you thrown our way, man, about,
it's a fact.
The IQ and all that stuff. That means a lot. Shout out to my dog, JT, as always. That's my bro, man. You got to be the funniest dude in our comment sections. He's
definitely in top 3 funniest.
Got to be top 3. Easy. And he dropped some knowledge You know what I mean? Shout to LM. Not sold on Jimmy G till he bangs Lisa Ann for the nation. Laugh out loud. Love you content. Go Raiders. 209. Shout to Stockton, Modesto. That whole area, Tracy, man. I love the 209. That is funny as shit, bro. Hey, did y'all see how Jimmy G acted last night when he got home from the Bunny Ranch? That boy was pulling out drawers out of his pockets and bras out of his shirt and shit.
God, are you
Jimmy
serious
T,
right now?
he's a GOAT, man. He is a GOAT. For those who have not checked it out, go to my last short on my page, and you'll see how Jimmy G walked into his house from the Bunny Ranch. Everybody wipe them feet, hit them thumbs up. If you guys are not subscribed to both channels, what are you waiting for? Hit that subscribe button, man. Also, you already know what it is. Pay them bar tabs. Get them thumbs up. We're still 600 deep over here. Let's talk, man. Look, you still got a few more minutes?
Yeah, a few more minutes, man.
All right, hey, y'all get your questions in, you guys. Let's definitely talk. Let's talk, man. I agree with how they're handling Jacobs. You can win without a star running back. Shit, most teams win without a star running back. Most do.
Yeah, but can this team afford to have a guy that's a leader? Can they win without having a guy who actually ushered in the culture to seem like, see, guys, the leaders on this team have to buy in to get the underlings to buy in. You know what I'm saying? So when you get a guy like Max Crosby who's come out and spoke highly of these guys, you get a guy like Josh Jacobs who comes out, speaks highly. There's only but so many guys. You get a guy like Devontae Adams, that means something. You got to take care of those guys. You definitely got to take care of those guys. I don't care what anybody says.
I agree. I'm just saying these guys went out and drafted Zamir last season. They got Sincere McCormick as a UDFA. They got Britton Brown. I think that there's something up with one of those guys. I think that they think that he can be the replacement. I believe that they brought him in on the franchise tag. $10 million is very, very cheap for a guy that led the league in rushing yards. You know what I mean? And let's be real. Josh was our savior last year outside of Devontae Adams and Max Crosby. But look, I just have a feeling they think that we already have his replacement on this roster already. Like, and try, mind you, you have to keep your guys that do right by you. I understand that. But when you go draft 3 guys and you think maybe 1 or even 2 of them can be his replacement, why pay him an astronomical amount of money to bring him back when he's a running back? Then
why not move on from him?
Yeah.
Then why not move on? Like, bro, and that's the thing, bro. Like, see, there's got to be something done in the National Football League with the way running backs are being treated. I don't like it.
I don't either.
It's messed up, man.
Yeah,
this guy led the freaking league in rushing, man.
Yeah. No, I agree. I think Josh should be taken care of, but you know, when you're looking at 14 mil a season, bro, like that's like the going rate for a starting running back of his caliber. That is a tough pill to swallow, bro, when you're paying a running back that kind of bread. Imagine you pay him a three-year, $4 million extension, right? You bring him around, and the next thing you know, one of these guys that you have on the roster ends up being special. That is a hard contract to get rid of, bro.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, you have to do what you have to do at this point. This guy is a tone setter here. You got rid of Carr, which, okay, I wanted that. Right, some of the guys in the locker room probably wanted that, but him, that's a guy that you have to make sure you pay. You have to. You know, you got Devontae Adams coming up behind him, saying, doing the money sign and all of that stuff, bro. You got to make sure that you take care of that man, bro. I don't care, and I'm not saying that you go out there and give him an Ezekiel Elliott deal. Why the fuck am I holding this thing for the camera?
But the thing is though, we don't know what he's asking. Matt Marinovich, if it's 3 years, 36 mil, that's 12 per. I'm cool with that. It's nothing, you know, I'm straight. Like if we're going to continue to get the Josh Jacobs that we got last year, shit, I will definitely pay 12 million a season for that. You know what I mean? But we also always have to remember, you know what I mean? He's been dealing with some bumps and bruises in his career up to last year. You know, he balled out on you know, on a year where he had a contract coming up. So, you know, maybe these guys want to see if he can do it one more year. I don't know. But to be real, I wouldn't be upset if Josh ended up saying, I'm not going. I'm not showing up. I can't be mad at him. I can't
either. And then if you're going to do that, then you got to try to salvage and save face on someplace. But I'm telling you, man, they need somebody in that locker room to be a leader. because Jimmy Garoppolo's not a leader. That's one of the knocks on Jimmy G. Jimmy G is not a leader. He's not the kind of guy who, is an emotional leader. He's a lead by example guy. So you need a guy like Josh Jacobs in that huddle to be who he is, a leader.
Yeah, I agree. Shout out to Big Mike. How are you feeling about committing to Andre James this year at center? I believe we are in the late rounds. Jared Patterson, for those who don't know, that's the center out of Notre Dame. I like Jared Patterson a lot. Juice Scruggs, that's a guy that Waste has talked about a lot. And Big Mike. Actually, Big Mike's mentioned both those guys, I think, in his new article on PlanetRaiders.com. Phenomenal work, my brother. I love that article about, 10 sneaky players in the draft or something like that?
Yes, man. This man is going nuclear with the draft coverage.
Top 10 day 3 sleepers.
It's going nuclear. Big Mike again for MVP.
Look, if they're sold on Andre James, I'm going to be honest, Big Mike, I'm actually happy because that's one less position that we have to address. We just re-signed Graphk, right? So that's the backup center. I think we might be cool at center at this point. I don't know if they even go out and get another center in the draft. Yeah, but if this is the guy and they're cool with it, I'm cool with it because it's one less situation that you have to worry about. You know what I mean? But at the end of the day, man, it is what it is. Shout out to Corrigan, man. Jacobs played hurt, fingers bent, smashing linebackers in the face. Come on now. Number 1 rusher in the NFL. This ain't Zeke's soft ass. Fuck that shit, John. Nah, I look, bro, I agree. Look, I love Josh Jacobs. That is one of my favorite players on this roster. And all I got to keep saying is, you guys, everybody thinks I'm a hater of Josh Jacobs. No, it's just I watched what this regime did last year. You know what I mean? And that was kind of telling to me, you know what I mean, that you go out and get 3 running backs and then you go get 2 more or even 3 more in free agency. What was it? Amir, Brandon Bolden. We got 2 in free agency.
Yeah, I'm surprised. I don't know about Brandon Bolden. I don't know if he makes it.
No, bro. We can cut him right now and I believe save $3 million.
Yeah, I would probably hope that they do. He didn't really do much last year.
Probably. He got to go. It's time, bro. He's old, bro. Let him go. Let me see. Shout out to everybody here in the building, man. Appreciate you guys for rocking with us. I feel what you're saying. I just don't want to hear it. Let me see. I think that Carter is overrated. DT. The DT from Pitt has a mother that won't a motor. I think you meant to say Alpha.
Yeah.
My boy Alpha's on that.
Fancy, man.
Yeah, my boy Alpha's on that Woodson whiskey right now.
Shout out to Woodson Whiskey.
Shout out WoodsonWhiskey.com, you guys, for those who don't know. We just got our bottles in the mail too for the draft, so we about to turn up. But I agree. I love Kancey. I don't agree with you in the sense of Jalen Carter being overrated, but I do agree that Kancey has a motor on him, and I wouldn't be mad if we traded back and got him. Let me see. Pastor says Cougar life. Let me see. 80s baby says I draft Voorhees in the 7th. I don't think he's going to be there and stash him for a year. I think that as great as Andrew Voorhees is, the guard out of USC, I think he'll still be gone in the middle rounds. I think he'll be a 4th round pick and be stashed away for a year. Like real talk. Even a good team may even get him in the 3rd round and stash him away. I think he could be a guy that can be a Pro Bowler, potentially all pro at the next level. So I don't think he'll be available in the 7th, 80s baby. But if he was, oh my God, I'm running to the podium at that point. Well, shit, you ain't even running to the podium in the 7th round. Shit, they pretty much just call it.
Somebody just in the background. Hey,
they taking a shit. They just make a call like, hey, yo, call it in. You know what I mean? Let me see. Shout out to Primos. Let Bolden go and give Amir the 3rd down running back spot. And that's already what it is. When we brought Amir back, I think it was telling. The writing was on the wall at that point what we were going to do. You know what I mean? So, and you know, Amir's more elusive. He's more explosive. There's just no reason to bring back Brandon Bolden. But yeah, y'all, with that being said, coming up on an hour and a half, appreciate all you guys for rocking with us. This is our free agency grade show. We're going to be back doing a lot this week. We got our brother TQ coming back on the show this week. We just locked that in tonight. Shout out to my boy TQ. For those who don't know, you know, a legend in the music industry, had a lot of great hits in the past. He'll be on again with us this week. We're working on getting some other guys as well. We're working on a huge guest feature in the next few weeks before the draft. So stay tuned for that. Other than that, man, PlanetRaiders.com, PlanetRaiders.com, PlanetRaiders.com. I'm telling y'all now, man, we're going to keep that work going. Once again, shout out to all you guys in the building. We appreciate y'all for rocking with us. Salute to you guys on the way out. Hit them thumbs up, pay your bar tabs, and make sure you hit that subscribe button.
Yes. And before you guys leave, 2 things. 1, hit that sub button for me, close to 7K. Also, if you get a chance, go Planet Raiders. Click on the article. We need the clicks, y'all. Let's go. Planet Raiders.
There you go. Shout out to my brother Wasted. Y'all already know what time it is. Love y'all. Appreciate y'all. We out.
Sanctioned by the new founding fathers and America, a nation reborn. May God be with you all.